Questions?
Frank, there was a stretch in that game that was 41-17. How do you put your finger on how that game flipped around?
It's tough to say. You know, our guys, first of all, didn't quit on it. You know, we got down early. They were red hot to start the game, scoring 43 points in the first quarter. And, you know, we knew we had to work harder on the defensive end, and that they've been having their struggles of late. You know, we felt like they would let us back in it. But, you know, obviously we didn't anticipate it to be the way it was.
Frank, what did you see there in the third quarter with the run that put you guys on top for the first time all game?
You know, we tightened the screws a little bit on the defensive end, you know, and that allowed us to, get out on the break, and, you know, we were very effective running on these guys, and then in the half court just not settling. You know, just being in attack mode, attacking the rim. We knew we could score at the rim or in the paint, you know, if we were patient enough. And, you know, obviously Jonathan Simmons was spectacular in that quarter.
Coach, the team allowed 9 points in the fourth quarter. Was this exactly the way you drew it up when you came into the office this afternoon, 9 points in the fourth quarter?
I always, you know, tell our guys if we could hold them, the other team to 9 points every quarter, we'll be in business. We worked hard. You know, we worked hard, and like I said, obviously the Cavs are having their struggles right now. You know, they missed a lot of good looks in the fourth quarter, but, you know, our guys just competed, and, you know, for the second time back-to-back, you know, for where we were at in the standings and everything, for our guys to be playing as hard as they're playing, I'm really proud of them.
Frank, Simmons had a sprained ankle. You didn't know if he was going to play an hour and a half before the game, and then, you know, come out the way he did. I mean, he was getting to the rim every single time. What did that say about his determination?
Game time decision to career high. I'm glad he played. Let's put it that way. And you know, he was terrific. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, it's really sore, and a lot of times once you get into the game, the adrenaline takes over and you don't feel it as much.
Frank, obviously you're not happy with where the team is in the standings, but you endured some pretty significant defeats to the Cavaliers last year. How gratifying is it to not only tie the season series, but to play as well as your team did in 2 out of the 4 games against them this year?
I'm proud of how we played against the Cavs in most of the games. We had a chance to win the last game at the buzzer as well, and you know, the second Cavs game here we didn't play as well, but, you know, our guys have competed against those guys and stood toe to toe. We ended up 2-2 against them. And, you know, like I said, you know, the bigger thing for me is just how hard we're playing, how together we're playing. You know, the energy and enthusiasm feels good, and the chemistry feels good. Our guys are competing to win, and we're building winning habits. That's the most important thing.
I think you said a while back that Jonathan kind of needed to get his second wind as he's played a lot of minutes. It seems like he's been picking up his play. What have you seen from Jonathan? You know, maybe you didn't expect a game quite like this from him, but what have you seen from Jonathan as he's picked up his play in the last week or two?
Yeah, well, he's one of the young players that's growing in terms of years in the league. You know, he's relatively inexperienced and, you know, carrying a much bigger load this year than he ever has in his career. So, you know, you're gonna be weighed down by that a little bit, and you have to adjust and you have to get through it. And, you know, that's part of growing and developing is being able to carry that load the way he has of late for us.
Frank, you're no stranger to news reports. The Cavaliers are getting more scrutiny than perhaps they have at any time in LeBron's tenure. Do you empathize with what Ty Lue is going through now, with the spotlight as sharp on him as it is, and with losses in 3 of their last 4 games?
Well, of course I do. You know, I empathize with any coach that's struggling. You know, coaches in this league, we you know, this is our life. You know, we live 24/7. You know, with the wins and with the losses, and, you know, they hurt. It's painful, and, you know, trying to pull everybody together and you know, keep them remaining confident and you know, manage expectations. All that stuff is hard. This is not an easy job that we have as head coaches. So I do empathize with him, but you know, Ty's a great coach, and you know, they got a good organization. You know, I'm sure they're going to figure it out.